Good afternoon, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Geek Speak. This is our annual wrap up. I'm so excited. This is my favorite episode of the year. My name is Rena Little from Full Serve Web Marketing, and we've got
Pip from Seymour Digital Media, and beside me is
Phelan, also with Seymour Digital Media.
And lastly, I'm Greg with Original 72 Creative.
terrific. So this is a bit of a less structured segment of Geek Speak where we're going to talk about wrap up. So that actually means a lot of different things to all of us. It could be highlights of our episodes, it could be highlights of what happened in the world of marketing. It's completely, everyone brought something a little bit different to the table. So, who would like to get us started? Do you have something on mind, Phelan?
I'd say, well, obviously, like AI has been a big theme for this year in the
Yeah.
world of marketing. So it definitely disrupted a lot of SEO stuff. So a lot of traditional ways of doing things just aren't in this. It's not that it's like I think it was overblown that it was going to be an apocalypse, but I think that it has changed. Like there's unequivocally that like it's different the end of this year than it
Yeah.
was at the start. And so I think we were talking a little bit in the preamble about things that Pip and I are doing different for our clients. So a bigger emphasis on schema has come up and also having kind of like a bit of a knowledge graph, meaning that it can scan bits of schema all across your website and piece it all
Yeah.
together.
So just for people who don't know, Schema is a piece of technical SEO.
Yeah, it's a little bit code that the computers can read really quickly, and
Yeah.
reveals a lot of information pretty quickly to someone that's scanning a website. So it's a way that you can put a little bit of code, and then it reveals a lot more information about your website to someone scanning.
when I started doing SEO, it was the coveted thing I wanted to learn. And today I actually got to teach somebody how to do it, which is, well, it's kind of cool when you finally get to, you had a goal and you get there and you're like, oh, okay, I do know it now. So I thought that was pretty great to know where something you want to learn, because I do like the technical part of SEO. What about you, Rena? What was a highlight this year for you?
Well, I would definitely echo Phelan in terms of AI definitely had a main stage in social, especially, and a lot of the other work that we do too. Um, I I'm still working through a lot of that stuff and trying to implement it with my clients too, just like you are. But I think what I was mostly interested in was um, the way that things moved, and I think AI was definitely a clear example on how things were moving quite quickly. So the highlights for me were really about TikTok. I was super duper invested in TikTok and its new buyers at the beginning of the year. And then by the mid-year, I completely fallen off of that knowledge train. I completely lost interest and I almost even lost track. And so that was a funny thing that happened with me. And interestingly, some of you might fall off of your seats, so hang on. I actually don't look at TikTok on the daily even anymore. I
Wow.
know.
Well, the algorithm's really addy.
Yeah,
Very addy.
It's changed so much this year as since and over last year, and I'm just not happy with the results. Ever since they banned the U.S. and all the American people left for that day or 2 days or whatever it was, and they came back, and I believe that's when they did their server change. I didn't really love it. I didn't like it anymore. What I did like about it though is the shift from big influencers to the focus on micro influencers, which also included a less polished production level and sort of opened up access to smaller creators in a different way, which I love. That's really working for me.
Okay.
And then for our for our Geek Speak episodes, I thought I really enjoyed doing the one on website accessibility and best practices, because it really helped me sort of, in my own mind, centralize why that's so important, and how to convey that message to other people working through that episode. And then my final top thing about the whole last year really was the 404 error page. Who did I do that with? It was
Phelan.
Greg, Phelan.
Yeah.
Phelan. Yeah, I had
Yeah.
so much fun on that episode and looking up the examples and figuring out who's doing what. And I actually got so into it that I created my own branded 404 page, and
Ooh.
it's my favorite page of my website right now.
Is
So
it got a
I
video on it?
a video?
Yeah.
No, but I can pop up I can put the link in to the error message.
Oh,
It's
that'd
gonna
be
ruin my
awesome.
SEO though, right? It ruins my SEO when I show that out, right?
Well, that's a
not
good
really,
one.
'cause
That's
it's
a
a
good question.
404.
Still,
I'll screen cap it. I'll share the design. I'll just screen cap it. That's a good idea.
I
But
think I
yeah,
like.
so that was
Oh,
my
go ahead.
year.
Yeah.
That was
Greg,
my
did you have a
year.
favorite?
Yeah.
The favorite episode? I actually enjoyed watching the 404 error page. I remember being on with that one and commenting a bunch on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you.
Yeah. I think, I guess a big thing for me this year was stepping back from shows, third quarter or whenever it was.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the year, I'm on everybody else's train with the AI thing. I mean, I think 2025 is basically AI overload for everybody. It's everywhere and changing so fast. So that seems to be the dominant thing in all of our industries that is sort of taking up all the space and growing the quickest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's some crazy things.
So where
Marina?
did you end up picking it? Where did you end up picking it up for your clients or for yourself, Greg? Like, what aspects did you implement?
What I'm using AI for mostly right now is just for getting content ideas, mostly.
Yeah.
And like rough drafts of like, here's an outline of a bunch of posts we can do, or here's an outline of like a couple of pages we can do, and like take that outline to help the client or help myself build out actual information to use on their websites or in their socials.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And what about you, Pip? Where are you exactly using AI in your work day?
Well,
General,
last.
but yeah.
Pardon?
Sorry, I know Phelan sort of addressed a general, schema thing that has been implemented in your space, but is there anything else that you're doing particularly?
Everything. Trying to do everything. So we make images with Nano Banana. I have. I talk a lot. I mean, we all talk a lot to ChatGPT or Gemini. So I'm doing a lot of testing, but so I'll take the same prompt and put it in two different. Like I'll put in Gemini or ChatGPT or Manus to see the differences, right, of what I like best. We created a lot of ChatGPTs for our clients, and then shared them with our clients, and they were for us to create better ad copy. And so utilizing that, I think the different AIs are better at different things. Like I use Manus a lot, and that's great for presentations. And building presentations.
And so when you said ad copy, are you using like the writing style AIs, or are you actually using the ad copy AI prompters in Google Ads?
Oh no, I'm going and making a ChatGPT with the client's content of their website. So we gobble the content of their website with Gobblebot. And then we give that, and then we give it directions on the rules for Google Ads, depending on their industry, or the rules for SEO, depending on if we're working on. So they are very specific, like ChatGPTs. But I'm thinking we're going to create gems now because I think your gems can attach to your workspace. So in Gemini, you can create gems. I've created a image prompt gen and a YouTube SEO
Can you
gem.
outline what a gem is for people who don't know, who are
It's like a
watching?
custom chat GPT. It's the exact same thing.
Okay. All right. So
yeah.
got it.
So you got to figure out what your clients are using, right? If you want to share it with them, will you make them a custom chat GPT? Will that be a bonus to them? I mean, you know, you can make yourself a chatbot on your website if you want, right? Using all the information that it can know. I mean, will it get some things wrong? Probably. Doesn't need human oversight, definitely.
Yeah.
But so we're doing a lot of that, like a lot of deep analysis now on our Google Ads accounts. So that's really good. And I've used an agent here and there, which is quite interesting to let an agent kind of take over your computer and do some work for you and see what it does. It's still a little bit further away than I would like, but you can also create agents in the ChatGPT API. So if anybody is interested in going to the playground of ChatGPT, you can create them and then they can attach to your automations. So yeah, there's some cool things, doing a lot of things that would be really hard for me to do in the past, like writing Google App Script. And so you can have your like spreadsheets and then they can do really cool things because you asked it to and then you can get an email. So what are you using it for, Rena?
I actually am not using the AI suggestions in anything in any of the ad spaces. That's number one. I just haven't had the chance to test and see what it would do that's different. I actually like my format better because it gets results. So I'm kind of reticent to change it up and see what happens.
Yeah.
But I might try and do that over the break. I use it mostly for strategy and analysis. Like if I just want a second set of eyes over what I'm already thinking to see if that's right or real or
Mhm.
all of that. I also like to brainstorm with it. So if I have something that's just not sort of moving in my own brain, I'll put it up in there and see what ideas it comes up with. I find it quite limiting, but I haven't delved into creating agents or anything like that yet. So that's probably on me and my lack of understanding. But so far, I'm loving it for helping with the copywriting and not so much with the images. I have a very particular way of thinking about imagery right now,
Have you
and I
tried
don't.
Nano Banana?
No, I have not.
It
No,
leaves a
no.
watermark, so I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, it left a watermark when you use it in Gemini, but I think when I used it in Manus, it didn't leave a watermark. Anyway,
Oh, nice.
things
So
to look at, right?
yeah, I would actually think that I would want to leave a watermark on it because I think I want my AI to be obvious. I don't want anyone thinking that I'm passing off original work
Mhm.
or passing off AI work as original. Um, and also, it's clear on what's copywritten and what's not copywritten for us.
Oh, we
You
got asked a question here I didn't even see. I'm so sorry I
know,
didn't put the comments up. Aura is asking, do you have a standard prompt for strategy analysis? Also, which AI tool? Ooh, good questions.
yeah.
Um,
So I'm using ChatGPT, the paid version, which I love, and I create a project section for each of my clients, and then I put all the information in that space. I'll put up analytics, I'll put up accounts, I'll give it all the information. And then the prompts that I ask are really quite specific. I don't sort of go on, I want a marketing strategy. That's, I find a little too vague. So I'll give them the business goals, I'll give them the target market, I'll give them, which particular services we're focusing on. And then I will um, uh, go from there. And then as it gives me information, I'll sort of cap it. I'll say, just give me this piece, just give me this piece, just give me this piece.
mm,
And then I'll ask for revisions based on what I see and what I would want to do with that client. And some of it I put my strategy in, and some of it I don't, because I don't trust that they're not going to recycle my proprietary my proprietary ideas with other people. So there's that aspect of it. But yeah, so I do a multiple set of prompts.
Nice. Or saying she loves that.
Well, that's because you're a business coach and you love that. We both love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Phelan, do you use any prompt strategy if you're using the AI?
Well, I was gonna say you kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier, but the big thing that I've been using the AI for is like the vibe coding stuff. Though I really don't like that term, but the idea of you getting AI to write simple scripts for you that do like small as long as you know, like, I want a script that does this, this, and this, and the outcome should look like this. Gives it a nicer constraint that it can do all the actual grammar and the syntax that, like, the script needs to look like without me having to learn it. So I find that that's been super helpful for kind of speeding up automating small tasks. You're
Right
muted
on.
or
Yeah. So
The classic term of the year. You're muted. You're muted.
so does anyone else have any of the news articles, like the news bits that we covered as a highlight or something that was really
Oh.
exciting for you?
I think I talked about this in the prep. The story of the OpenAI dealing with Disney. I think that was kind of the big one
Right.
that looked like was going to
Yeah.
be a big thing, and it went from Disney, who's quite litigious and is not afraid of going into a long, drawn-out court case, just gave up the ghost and then now paid OpenAI $1 billion to
they're also
and
suing
gave over
Google.
their IP.
But
Sorry, I
then they're
missed
suing
that.
Google.
Then they started suing Google and Reddit. I believe that there's another legal battle with Reddit. But yeah, basically Disney's turned its eye to Google right now.
So can we just sort of recap that a little bit? So basically, Disney was actually suing AI for using their images or their intellectual property, and
Yeah,
now they're paying them to use their property. Do we know
and
any
gave them
details about?
IP,
Yeah,
and they also gave over the IP address. So like the IP,
yeah,
like they're allowed to use 200 odd characters in their
yeah,
image generation. I don't know what happened there, but someone must have said something to someone, because to have your tune
right.
changed that wholly to be like, I'm
So
suing you I'm going to give you money and my intellectual property, is a
it's
hell of a
almost
turnaround.
like it's almost like the perfect moment to put on our tinfoil hats and make something up. Like, really, that was just the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Because they're so litigious, I'm not even going to say anything, and I would prefer to remain anonymous about that. But yes,
I
there's
know.
it's definitely a weird speculation hour of like, how did you go? Like, what was the course of events that led you to go from you're going to give us the money that we're going to give you
Yeah,
money and our intellectual property and let you just
yeah,
use it? Like that,
yeah,
something happened. I don't know what, but yeah, someone
yeah,
and
yeah,
then to
definitely
just
something
turn and
happened.
sue Google out of it, like
Yeah.
that, very weird set of events.
It was almost like our news for marketing and stuff like that was on fire. Everything was breaking
Yeah,
news. When usually, I mean, it's like they changed the font color. We all get in a tizzy about it, but no, this year was a little bigger, and a lot of places tried to implement AI stuff, and they were fails, right? Like I think the fast food restaurants tried to implement it a little too quickly. Um, and yeah, so there's still bugs. Like I think we all see it. We all have to rewrite things or make sure it's not lying. And every couple of weeks there's a new model out, right?
yeah,
So, but now they all have
yeah.
browsers.
So, Greg, what was your news based highlight for the year, do you think?
Yeah. Oh, I think I know his.
I was just thinking about it, and I can't recall if the WP Engine and WordPress battle started at the beginning of this year or was it last year, near the end of last year. But I think that was a big topic in the WordPress world.
Yeah.
Yeah, people left using WordPress because of that.
Yeah.
And the fact that then WordPress dropped a ton of their staff shortly after that. Like giving them offers, like if you're not on my side, kind of a thing. Feel free to go.
Yeah.
It was an interesting time.
Yeah, totally. And the Cloudflare outage was also pretty huge. I don't even know if they've ever had an outage like that before. Definitely not since I started using them.
No,
it was the largest outage that they've ever had. I know that it was a system-wide, pretty big error. And we also had Amazon US East went down again. And then it turned out there was even more people that were affected by it because even more people are just using AWS for their hosting, like big companies. And so like parts of Google went down.
So Google went down. Sorry, I think I missed that.
AWS.
So AWS has their biggest server farm is called US East. It's in New York, like a western part of New York. And it went down in 2017 for a day, and people were like, "Oh wow, so many people are using this because like
I'm
Twitter."
Sorry, I didn't clue in that was Amazon Services. That's the problem. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I didn't make that explicit. Yeah, Amazon Web Services, which is like their cloud computing, and it's so big, and so much of the internet has just exported their own hosting just to AWS and got them to deal with it. But it meant that so much more of the internet was now centralized at one spot that when they did have an outage at their data center, even more people were like, "Oh yeah, we're down for the day," and it was like parts that you were like, "Wait, you have your own." Like parts of Google, not all of it, but parts of Google and parts of Microsoft who also have their own cloud computing. And it's like, why are you paying someone else to do it when you could do it in house? And it's like, things like that. But like, you don't even realize that they're getting that are so fragile. And it's so precarious that and you realize like, oh, it's even fewer people that are hosting these things than they used to be.
And you're absolutely right. It is quite interesting that they are buying from their what seems like competitors, or other big, and the ads run like that too. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. Like a lot of Meta ads will put placements on Google Spaces, and same with Google ads will put placement on Facebook.
Yeah, the display network. There's the display network, and then there's the Google Partners Network. So both of those, right? So anybody selling you, what is it called? It's called, other newspapers sell it. But basically everybody who does ads for Google, like if they're doing like certain, like interest targeting or like want to be on certain websites, that's all through Google. Right? Because Google bought what did Google buy? AdShare? DoubleClick, yeah.
DoubleClick is the newspaper network.
Right.
And also, if anyone is interested, I would say look up Project Bernanke, named after the Fed chair that bailed out both Google and Facebook. And it is the project that Facebook and Google literally colluded together to make the internet, and they could get sued over it because they made the whole internet 1 second slower. It was provable that they were like just selling ad space back and forth.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, well, isn't that the way, right? And I think we'll see more of that in the future. I mean, we saw TikTok get bought, right, Rena? And now we're seeing, what is it? Coursera wants to buy Udemy. I think that's new.
Yeah, that just was announced today.
Yeah, and then there's been a bunch of other big. Oh my gosh, that Adobe bought SEMrush. That was like a jaw-dropping moment,
Yes.
So
and then didn't Adobe also buy Figma or something? Or am I mistaken?
No, Figma.
Still separate? Somebody
No,
bought
sorry,
Figma.
I'm not saying it.
I
No,
saw. I saw. You don't
I
know?
was going to
Yeah.
say there was the whole Canva and Affinity.
Oh yeah.
But I do recall something about Rena, what Rena was referring to with Figma, but I can't
I
recall
think
who.
the only oh yeah, so they actually abandoned their. Okay, so
Yeah,
this was in 2023. Oh, I'm so
yeah.
behind.
No, but yeah, I went to go to buy them, but
Wasn't there another creative thing that was picked up though? There was a creative, but I forgot what it was now. Anyways, it doesn't matter. If I find it, I'll put it in the comments.
Sure, we'll find. There was a lot that happened this year. I mean, it was a
Yeah.
fast-paced rock and roll year where I think we all were a little stunned here and there about like you're just like Jesus.
Another notable thing that happened only like a month or two ago was the whole decision about the Chrome browser.
Right.
But I haven't, since that announcement, there's been no information or nothing that I've seen when that's going to happen, or if it's actually going to happen, or what have you.
yeah, from what I read, is it got scaled down quite significantly from the initial ruling as they kind of actually figure out details. And it got pared down to being very specific in what they were going to do. So Chrome's still going to be around, but like there's restrictions on what information it collects about people. So it's quite pared down from they had to get rid of it entirely to like, oh yeah, you just have to like be compliant by anonymizing certain bits of data, and that would make
it just spurs on like so every browser is collecting our information. It's not Chrome specific, right? So I'm wondering if something happened where that ruling came out and was like, hey, we're not the only people that collect information. Every browser is doing this. You want to get rid of browsers altogether, and then on top of that, the rise of AI. It's all about collecting everybody's information.
Yeah.
All information across the internet.
I find it hilarious. We had a huge group of people off of Facebook that moved off of Facebook due to the privacy settings and what they were keeping. And I'm like, dude, you'd have to like get rid of all of your free accounts that you use. You know, like it's like, but you have a Gmail account, so it makes no sense to me when you have a Gmail account that you're worried about what Facebook does because they're all doing it.
This thing's worse. This is worse than anything that you have.
That's right. Everybody's got a phone.
And your phone will emit something called a MAC signal, which is like independent of any privacy settings you have. Your phone emits a MAC signal because it has to in order for other phones to know which one it is. But by it having that, it's more uniquely identifying than anything else you could possibly do than your Gmail. And you can, they have MAC scanners through every grocery store you go to, every big box store. They have MAC scanners, so they know which aisle you're in. They know.
Well, didn't Amazon buy Whole Foods for that technology?
This was implemented before any of that. This has been around for like last decade.
Here's the thing, though. If they have all of that, why am I always having to produce a card for my point? Like, honestly,
make you feel better. Maybe to make you feel better.
Is it a psychological thing? That is so annoying. Actually, I didn't really.
What it is that they're trying to not be so explicit. Like they're trying to not. The whole purpose is there's a certain layer that they don't want you to think too much about.
So although the cash register could, the AI at the register could say, "Hi, Rena," as you walk up.
No, they can't do that because the Amazon grocery store that they did in New York turned out to be a colossal failure, and it turned out that they couldn't do it with scanners. Like they had it where everything was cameras, there was no register. You just put everything in your basket and walked out. It's now been proven that it was like a colossal failure because they had to hire like 4,000 people in India to actually review all of that to make sure that you got billed correctly, and they still got it wrong in a bunch of instances. And so it turns out there's no way to do this at scale. There is no like automation way that they're going to do this.
Well, there's a store at Metrotown that's, I think it's Uniqlo, and the way that you check out, it's a self checkout, and you bring your clothing items or whatever it is you've purchased through the checkout, and you put your stuff in the spot or in like a little bin, and up on the register, it will tell you what you have in there, and then you just pay. There's no
Right.
scanning, there's no nothing. It's sensing what you have in there. And they have like 7 or 8 checkouts like that. Now, there
Yeah.
was a time Jamie went in and she bought something, and it did sense something that she didn't have in there, whether that was something in someone else's or like proximity. But I I see that working at scale. Like they're doing it, and anytime we've
The
bought something there since, it's been bang on. Everything that we've put in there is what shows up
yeah.
on the screen, and then we just say, what way we want to pay, and swipe our
And
phone and leave the store.
who's gone to the store on Robson Street that where you don't have to scan anything? If you've done that, in the comments, if you're from Vancouver, put it in the comments. Let me know. I want to hear what that's like. I think that's where I'm going to do my little day trip out to Robson, as if it takes
Oh, is
that
this
long.
the
It's like,
store you're talking about that
yeah,
you swipe to go into the store, and then as you're
yeah,
in the
you have
store,
an app. Yeah, you
yeah,
download
Oh
an app
wow.
before you.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I want to really try. I want to look at that because I'm not sure. I don't know what
Is
the
it
technology
food? Is
is.
it for like groceries?
Yeah,
I think it's
it's like a snack store.
snack store. Yeah.
Um, I agree. I like cashiers much better, but
We actually
uh,
have a store in Canada that only has cashiers still. And well, I don't think it's just in our town, but I do know it is franchise. It's Crappy Tire. I mean, Canadian Tire. They don't have. It's all people checking you out. They don't do the scanny thing. We're in Toronto. Like I went to Shoppers, and there's no people. There's just scanners. So I don't know. It's
yeah,
interesting.
I
We
think
are out
that's
of
so
time.
much more for Vancouver. Yeah,
Mm.
thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. This is our last one for the year, and we'll be back in January. I can't remember what the date is for the first
Yeah,
Thursday.
I can't remember
January
either. 8th.
8th.
Yeah,
January 8th. And we hope that you all have a really fantastic break,
and hope to
holiday
get a
season.
holiday.
Spend time with your family, take a rest, ask us questions in the Facebook group. If you're finding us elsewhere, our community is the Business Marketing Mixer in Facebook. You can join our group there. Otherwise, you can tune in wherever your favorite platform is and see us in the new year.
Woohoo!
And
Happy
so much.
holidays!
Everyone.
Bye!